Good morning, Toledo, Ohio. Welcome to the 419 Rise and Grind Morning Show. It's your host, your boy, Sean Juan, in the house with the DJ Impress.
What's going on, man? Creative week.
Look, AKA Money, for those who know.
So, I'm surprised that you're saying Money, because my birth nickname was Money. So family and anybody that knows me before the 5th grade calls me Money. That's how I can tell how long people know me, because if you call me Money, you met me after the 5th grade. My 5th grade teacher would not call me Money. She would not call me Money. She said it sounded like a drug dealer, so she started calling me Money. So anybody that knows me from the 5th grade on calls me Money, but family calls me Money.
Right.
Yeah.
But I say I've always called you Money.
Yeah.
I've always called. Well, and the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, is because I had a speech impediment when I was younger. and so they said I was geeky. Geeky mean I can talk real fast and no one can understand what I was saying. And so I had to take some speech therapy to correct my speech. So guess what? Here I am on radio and podcast. So there it is.
Using that voice.
That's what's up, man. Hey, shout out to Councilwoman Cassandra McPherson, man. She definitely is going to be a sponsor of the Rise and Grind Morning Show. So we are grateful and thankful for that. But ladies and gentlemen, we're also in the studio with the Project 360 himself, the Rise and Grind Morning Show producer of the Check-In podcast theme song, Jesse Coleman, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesse.
Why y'all whispering my name? What is that?
Yeah,
I need some applause. How about that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. Thank you, though. Thank you for that.
Jesse Jackson. It's Black History Month, man. That's right. We're in the spirit already.
Shout out to Jesse Jackson.
I am somebody.
Ready for action.
Right.
Jesse Jackson. Remember he ran for president in 1984?
Yeah. Like, wow, you know.
That's history.
That is history.
Yeah.
That is history, man. So, yep, ladies and gentlemen, it's to start off not only Black History Month, but here at the Rise and Grind Morning Show is our Creator Week, man. And we're excited about those who will be coming on the show to share their amazing journeys and how it all started and why they do what they do. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to announce our next guest to add to the Wall of Fame at the Rise and Grind Morning Show. We got Josiah Williamson in the house.
Yeah.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Wait, hold on. You heard you came like, what's up?
What's up?
Hey, this mic is, doing it.
That mic doing it, right?
Doing this thing.
What's going on, fam? How you doing, man?
Good. God is good.
Man, yeah, absolutely. You bad boy of them keys, man. I just want to tell you that.
I was about to say, I was trying to let you finish it, but that's one of the most talented people I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From music to a video and photography and all that. And there was a time that if your house caught on fire, he might just come put it out for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, one of the most talented people I know, man. So
I heard he plays guitar, too.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Didn't you play guitar at the Gospel on the Green, didn't you?
No,
were you on keys?
I played at the
Where was it?
the Faith in the Stadium thing.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. All right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Playing the guitar. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what creators do, right?
Hey, man.
They do it all, man.
Yeah.
So welcome to the show, man. As you know, this is Creator Week, man, and we are showing the world people's talent, skills, and ability, even their anointing on why they do what they do. So tell us a little bit about you and what it is that you do.
Wow. So I do a bunch of everything right now. So yeah, as you know, some people may know, some people may not know. I used to be a firefighter for 7 years. Just recently resigned, and so I am a marketer, a video marketer per se, and so helping businesses grow through marketing and advertising. So that's kind of like what I'm focusing on. I'm still doing like photography and stuff because I do have like a cool little niche style that people still want every now and then, and so I'll still do stuff like that. But I'm not really marketing myself as like, hey, get this photo shoot by me like every day. I'm not doing that anymore. But if somebody like, because like I said, there's people that still want my style, and so I love doing photo shoots still. But like right now, the business is a video marketer.
So back up.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't miss this. He said he was a firefighter and he resigned from being a firefighter. Not because he got fired or he was forced to resign.
Nope.
I already know that because I know his character. But Ty often talk about your favorite cousin. He talk about jumping off the porch. And Jesse says, what do you say, Jesse?
If you jump off the porch, make it count.
Make it count. So what led you to resign? Because I'm there with you.
Yep.
I resigned from corporate America, making 6 figures a year, to jump off the porch to say I'm going to help children. So what forced you to jump off the porch?
Yeah, so it's funny because I started photography. I literally bought a camera, I would say 3 months before my academy started.
Okay.
And it was just something like, most firefighters have a side hustle. Like if you know any firefighters, most of them do something on the side of some sort. Right. And I was like, you know what, my thing on the side, because of the schedule, we only worked 10 days per a month. And so my whole thing was like, all right, you know what, I'm going to do camera stuff. I want to do media. And I had a drone that I would play around with and put up in the air and just do stupid stuff with. And then eventually that grew into like, I was like, I really enjoyed doing it. So I ended up buying a camera. And from that point, it was like within that first year, I don't know if I was just like, God was like, you have an eye, but like I got really, really good within that first year. And then I started seeing people like want to start booking me. And so at that point I knew like, okay, this is something for real. And then I kind of, not mastered, but I like locked in on how I wanted to take my pictures. And so that kind of was this thing. I had a set like workflow and framework for everything, my editing and getting people stuff. My system was like dialed in. And so I was like, at this point, I want to start doing video as well. And so I started doing video, and then that, was doing good. And so towards the later part of my tenure with TFD, I was making the same money that I was making working that I was doing on the side. And so it was one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm giving the city of Toledo 40 hours a week, all while being able to grow this thing to where it's at now. And it's just like, okay, what can I do if I just really just step out on faith and trust God and really bet on me that, this thing can really grow.
So I know that you are a family man, correct?
Yep.
And so, a lot of times people don't jump off the porch because they like, I got a family to feed and all that. And the support, sometimes, if you go to your wife and like, hey, I think I'm about to give up this job with these benefits and all that to, follow my dream. So how was it?
Oh my God.
That conversation? Right.
So it's funny, man, because I resigned in August. We had, I don't know if y'all saw, like the fire department in the city was like kind of at odds with our contract and stuff. And literally, I would say 6 weeks before I left, they had just approved us to get a 19% raise.
Wow.
And we already kind of made good money, but I would have been at 90K, around 85, 90K base without any overtime, just going to work, going home. And then on top of that, I had a baby coming. And firefighter insurance, let me say this. The firefighter job, let me give a plug. Anybody wanting to be a firefighter, do it. It's a great job. Benefits, pay, the people, everything is just great. But it was one of those things where I had a lot. So I had people calling me like, dude, you about to leave a good job. People try their entire lives to do this, and you got a baby on the way, and you're going to give up that insurance and this and that. And I had family members calling me, friends. I had some people that I worked with. They was salty with me. It was rough. It was rough. Very rough.
But you saw past that to your vision, right?
Yep.
And that's the thing that people start to listen to that. Like, I gotta stay in this job, man. And sometimes your vision and your passion is bigger than what the reach of that job can hold you in, right?
Yeah.
So, how long has it been since you retired?
August, so
Resign.
resign.
But retired is a good thing.
Yeah.
5 months, 5.5 months ish.
Wow.
So how's the 5 months been?
It's been good.
Yeah.
It's been good. It's been good. And the entrepreneurial journey has its ups and downs.
It does.
And that's, kind of, anybody, I watch enough podcasts and read enough books to know that's just what comes with the game. And so I think that's the hardest thing, where 1 month you going crazy, then another month it's just like, oh, okay, hold on, what's going on here?
Right.
Wait a minute.
I've done the same thing. I left my job at Jeep. I was there for 13 years, and people are scared for you.
Yeah.
Because they don't see what you see as far as your vision. I still get scared sometimes because I don't know what's in front of me, but I believe, God put me in this position for a reason. Do you have that fear or sometimes that doubt that comes in and say, you know what, maybe I should have waited a few years? Or are you saying like, no, this is it for me? Like, I have no doubt.
Every single day, I'm just like, there's something. This is the for real transparent mode. Every single day. And so the thing with me is like, I had a tightness. So within the fire, you have crews, right? Mm-hmm. And there are certain crews that are not really close. I had one of the tighter knit crews. Shout out to my guy, Ton and Tony. We would hang out off the job. Mm-hmm. And so, to answer your question, Jesse, it's one of those things where every single day, like from the camaraderie sake, as well as I left my brothers, like we done been through some stuff, and so it's like that part of it, and then also just the whole thing about it is like every single day is like I'm holding this newborn baby that I just had 3 weeks ago, and every day I'm just like, I don't, sometimes I look at her and like, sometimes I don't know where the next check is going to come from, because especially in being a creator, people, they have net 30s and net 60s and stuff. So I may do a project for somebody and they don't pay me for weeks at a time, sometimes months.
Right.
And so like it becomes a cash flow thing, and then, people, I might have a contract with somebody and they just, whatever money dries up and they drop in. It's not that I wasn't doing a good job, it just was, so it's like that feast or famine thing. So it makes it very hard. So yes, every day I'm looking like, man, maybe I should go back. Like,
my daughter's 20, will be 21 this year, and I still feel that way. Like, I need to do something to make sure that she's okay.
Man.
She's about to go to the Army, but I'm still feeling that way because as a dad, as a creator, it's like it's funny because you have to find balance, because you still have to be confident in what you do.
Ooh,
you still have to be confident in what you do, and when people approach you about something, you can't be thinking about, oh man, I only made $500 last month, and this month, the first month I made like $5,000. But there's a balance, and you have to figure out that balance and ride that wave.
I'll say this though, when you truly believe, he'll make a way.
Yeah.
He'll make a way.
Yeah.
There's been times where like I'm just being transparent. I'm like, man, I don't have nothing booked. I don't have, what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then as soon as a little bit of doubt start to creep in my mind, my phone rings.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, I got this gig. The budget is $700.
Oatmeal beats no. Hey, oatmeal beats no meal.
And so you have to believe.
Yep.
And when you believe, there will be a way made some kind of way, man. It will.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. So what are some of the services that you provide now in your business?
So, in its simplest form, just so everybody, what I do is we come out, we shoot videos, we help build people offers. Every part of business is having an actual offer. So before, what I was doing was shooting these cool videos for people, and it was just that. So now I help people. We help come into their business, build a actual offer that helps them attract clients, and then through premium visuals, the video's still cool, and then we also just run it and push it through Facebook ads.
Okay.
That's just through some advanced targeting and stuff like that. But
so branding pretty
kind of sort of, but I would call it marketing / advertising more so. Branding is more so like creating a
logo,
a visual identity, and what people think of you more so.
Okay.
Outside of, would you agree, Jesse?
Yeah.
It's like what people think of you. It's not people think when people think branding, they think logo, new pictures, and all this other stuff. But it's really just creating a presence around when your name is spoken or business is spoken. What do people think?
Right.
That's
It's like
that's your brand.
People mention the 419 Grind or the Rise and Grind Morning Show. They think of Sean Mahomes and what energy he brings during the show, or the how people can come on the show and be on this platform to promote themselves. That's the brand of the Rise and Grind Morning Show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What he's doing is visual marketing.
Okay.
So it's telling a story and building around that brand that they already have,
Right.
and distributing out to the people who become leads.
Yep.
So in layman's terms, I guess.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So how did you find that niche?
I believe in mentorships and paying for courses and master classes and stuff. So I've invested thousands to trying different things and landing on different things. And I just found that, like, one, this is the thing that I like the most. But also, the results on both ends for me, obviously it's a profitable niche, but also I can see the tangibility quick, like where I see, okay, I'm doing this and this person's getting this X, Y.
It's rewarding.
That return.
The benefit is rewarding
Right.
for most people.
Right. Do you know Chris Doe? You know who
Yeah,
Chris Doe?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Future.
Yeah. So I've been following him for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
Just learning about branding. That's how I know about branding, because people say branding, oh, that's your logo. Like, no, it's not. So, but that's what I learned from as far as visual branding and marketing is from him. Just being up under him and taking those, paying for those classes and all that stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I want to say, I kind of want to just back up just a little bit, right? Because there are people right now that's watching this and listening to us that is probably dealing with the same thing, right?
Right.
They want to step out on faith. They want to do what they know they've been called to do, but they are afraid to do it, right? And we just had a very transparent moment where we're talking about the real of the real.
No doubt.
I'm like you, Cuzzo. I'm like, man, I get a lot of offers to go back into corporate America, right? A lot of Fortune 500 companies, talking about, vice president positions, executive director positions, and the package is sweet, right?
Right.
Because I have those moments where I'm like, should I really be trying to help kids? Like, this is not is this how it's supposed to be?
Right.
And then you want to give up, and then you get that phone call, and there's a parent on the other line that's crying and asking for help, and they don't know what else to do, and you get that quick boom, right? And so you go, oh, all right, God, I hear you, and then then it's feast or famine again, and you start to really not only doubt yourself, but then you start looking at faulting everyone else. Like, how come nobody won't help me, or how come nobody won't help me get a grant and all this? But God said He wants the glory.
Right.
And so His story needs to be shared, because His story, your story, my story, Jesse's story is going to help the next person that is wanting to jump off the porch, but they need some type of encouragement that, is it really okay to jump off the porch? Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Is it going to be easy? No, but it's going to be fruitful.
Right.
So I just wanted to back up a little bit and talk about that. But I met Josiah, and I was like, man, this dude is great. So I was on the Todd Johnson show on his podcast, and I was sick. Man. I was trying to hold it together, man. I was not feeling good. But he was behind the camera, and he was doing his thing. And then when I saw the done part, I was like, man, this dude is a beast.
Yeah.
He was a beast. And that was back, a while back. So look where he at now.
Right.
You like on a whole different level right now. And definitely.
Yeah, that was like what, 4 or 5 years
ago.
Yeah. So you said you noticed that you had an eye. What made you know, like, because people think like taking pictures is just taking pictures, right? That special shot, and when you have it, you know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What helps you hone that eye for those special shots?
So I would go on YouTube, and there's like photo critique things that you can watch. So it's like where photographers will upload their stuff and like this guy just goes through and rips it apart. And I was seeing like I was already doing the stuff that he was recommending like early on, and he's like, instead of doing it this way, and I'm thinking before he's giving his advice to the people, like, why didn't you do this? And I'm thinking like, and I don't know anything, but I'm thinking in my head like, and I would just watch these videos on just like next one after next one, and it's like I'm already in the mind of somebody that does this, like that really does this, and then I'm seeing how I'm like out in real time, like it's certain things like I'm seeing like shots like, okay, instead of doing this, why don't you do it this way? And so like my perspective was just different with certain things, and then obviously that just showed inside my work as well. So
I mean, some people just have a natural eye for it. Like I had to work at it, and I never went to school for it. I mean, I'm sure you didn't either.
Well, so let me ask you this, Cuzzo. When did you know you had an ear? Like, what was it that you just kind of sat and was like, it just changed you?
So I tell the story about how I started DJing. The way I started DJing was my mother used to throw. My mother had a bunch of friends, right, and they would all come over to the house on Friday, right, with everything that they carried for the week. So when they first came, everybody, man, you ain't believe what happened this week, blah, 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 you know what I mean? And then at some point in time, somebody would play music, and I saw how instantly people's mood changed. So I started studying that. Like, I want to be able to affect people's lives like that, right? And so I started, again, when I wanted to learn how to, so fast forward to, I always had that in the back of my head. So that made me fall in love with music, period. I went to school, and then I helped my school start a radio station, right? But I still wasn't a DJ. You know, I was just like a programmer. I came home and I played basketball for a guy that owned a bunch of clubs on the east side. And after our games, we would go back to the bar, and I didn't drink. So they would be there drinking, and I was like, all right, I'm about to see, you know, and I started playing music, right? And they was like, man, we ought to open on Wednesday. We play our games on Wednesday nights. And Monty could DJ. I didn't have no records, nothing. You know what I mean? And so I was working at Sound Asylum at the time too. And I was telling people, hey, I'm about to start DJing at this club. Come through, right? And so I would come, and I started being able to hype the crowd up, and then see if I could bring them down, and then hype them back up, and when I was able to control the crowd like that, I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. You know what I mean?
So, man, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Creator Week, so we're trying to help you understand what creativity looks like. So I'm gonna ask you, Jesse, like, what was it for you that you just kind of, because I know you've been around ministry and music all your life or whatnot, but what was it for you to be like, it was something that snapped that said, I need to take what I'm doing to another level?
Well, this is a crazy story. So I didn't start playing keys until I was like 17, I think. My brother was 16. So we had a lady that went to our church, and her house caught on fire. And she ended up moving in with us and her two sons. One of her sons played keys, and he brought his keyboard to the house. Of course, my father is a saxophone player. He's a musician, whatever. He played the keys, but we never had a desire to play instruments because we were all so into sports. Like basketball and football was our thing. That's what we did like forever. So what's crazy is I got hurt playing basketball, so I had nothing else to do. So he brought his keyboard to the house, and of course I'm on my knee brace, and he was just showing us some stuff on keys, and we started playing. Like, we learned from him, and then we play by ear, me and my brother, and so I used to make beats or whatever for people around the city. But my business partner Al came over one day, and I started looking up on YouTube how to do flyers. So I started doing flyers. I was at home, and he came over one day. The church needed some stuff done, and he was like, "Hey man, like, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm just making beats or whatever." He said, "No, like, what are you doing? Like this can be a business." And so he was like, we can partner up. I'll do the logistics and everything. You do the artwork and the music, and we end up opening up a music studio, Project 360 Studios. It was only a music studio and graphic design, and this was in 2006. So he really motivated me to take my talents and actually make it a business. Back in 2006, he was working at Jeep, and he ended up taking a buyout in 2008.
Right.
And I started working at Jeep in 2013. So I kind of put the business down after that. But it got to the point to where I'm like, this is not me. Especially at a factory doing the same thing over and over. A creative cannot do that.
Right.
Yeah.
The redundancy of doing the same thing over and over and over again, it messes up your mind.
Yeah.
So I was like, I cannot do this anymore. Let me figure out what I want to do. I met with Al again, and he was like, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do the Project 360 again. Of course, I always did the podcast thing, but learning video at church, learning audio at church, and with my dad in studio, with Chris Berg and with Lewis Newsom and a bunch of other guys who did music around the city. That's how I learned. And I just took everything from video, audio, to design, to music, and this is where we are now.
Wow, that's what's up, man. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta take the time out to send a shout out, condolences to Mark Bates. He's watching. He just buried his mom on Saturday, man.
Condolences, yeah.
Condolences, Mark, man. I love you, bro, and I know it's tough, man. And ladies and gentlemen, you only get one.
Yeah.
And when she gone, she gone. That's why I get so upset with these kids that I work with, man. Because I'll be like, how you disrespecting the one that gave birth to you? Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, you only get one.
No doubt.
Because I ain't going to front, man. My mom will go up out of here, man. I don't know what I'm going to do, man.
Bro, you already know.
Man, you already know. Man, And so I just wanted to send that out to him, ladies and gentlemen, before we get ready to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. But before we take a break, shout out to our sponsors, Project 360 Studios, Toledo Art, the Tabernacle Church, Pink Lady Cigar Club, Young Men and Women for Change, Your Computer Needs of Toledo, LLC, Midwest Social Club, Darnetta Carter, The Social Butterfly, One Creative Cutie, Nickel Bar and Grill, Cartier One Auto Sales, LLC, Legal Shield by Anita Madison. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got to go pay some bills. But before we do, Jesse, where can they find us?
You can find us live on Facebook, live on YouTube. You can also find us later on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you find your favorite shows.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Christ in my soul, that's the all in me. Take another step.
The Rise and Grind Morning Show is on. 419 The Grind.
Good morning, Toledo, Ohio. Welcome back to the 419 Rise and Grind Morning Show. It's your host, your boy, Sean Wan, in the studio with the DJ Impress.
I'm walking in authority.
I'm walking in authority.
Yes,
man.
yes.
In the studio, ladies and gentlemen, with Jesse Coleman,
Good morning.
the producer of the Check-In Podcast.
We gonna get him out of that.
Out of what?
What's your boy? Def Jam.
Def Jam.
Russell Simmons. Yeah, you remember how at the end?
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you.
Right.
Yeah.
He was. They say he ain't like to talk, so that's all he would say at the end of the Def Comedy Show. Thank you coming out. See you next week. We gonna get Jesse out of that.
Yeah, we're gonna get him up out of that. For real.
Good morning.
Stay in the corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very talented, great man of God that's in the house with us. That is Josiah Williamson. And man, it's a blessing having you on the show, brother. Welcome back.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So go ahead.
No, so besides your business, we were talking, and you play in 2 churches. Mm-hmm. Tell where your love of music came from.
So when I was 4 years old, probably 4 or 5. I was one day just rummaging through my house, and my mom had an old keyboard in a closet. And so I ran and I grabbed it and started just playing. And my aunt played. And so my mom tells a story. Basically, I guess whatever I was doing on this keyboard was something where she called my aunt and put her on a speakerphone and was like, "You got to listen to this." And my aunt was like, "He got something." And so she started working with me, and I would sit up during church. From that point on, I would sit up next to her on the organ, and she would, I would just watch her and play, and then she would have me do little things like hold the key or flick the Leslie switch for her, or I'll start doing little things just to, you got to keep these kids engaged in church. So,
you do.
Yeah. So that's something that I was doing, and then after a while, I think when I was 7 or 8, she basically said, "You can't learn while I'm still playing." So she literally stopped and just like it was all on me from that point. So shout out to my aunt Lynette for that. Yeah, she pushed me like she basically was like, "You cannot learn unless and then it got to a point where I was advancing, and then my parents invested in my mom's best friend is Orlando Walton. And so I started working with him.
Wow.
Greatest organist.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. Uncle O. So then he started working with me on a week-to-week basis, and then from there it just took off. So
Wow.
There's this word that I keep hearing you say, right? And the word I keep hearing you say is invest, right? You invested when you wanted to do your business. You invested in yourself to take classes and all of that stuff. You talk about how your parents invested in your music. People have to get out of this mindset of getting stuff, everything for free.
Yeah.
right.
Free stuff is great, right?
Right.
But in order to get that, like people, when they offer you free stuff, is normally just to get you in the door. And then the stuff that you really need to unlock stuff comes after an investment, right? The seed that you sow is an investment. You know what I mean? So I just keep hearing that word come up, and I'm loving it because it shows, one, the seriousness. Because people, like, when people ask me, I've trained a lot of DJs, right? And people always ask me, like, can you teach me how to DJ? And I'll teach you, but you have to invest in yourself first before I invest my time and stuff into you.
Right.
So I keep hearing that come up, and I'm loving that you take enough respect for crafts and stuff to invest in yourself. So I'm sorry.
No. The word for the day, ladies and gentlemen, is invest. Yeah. Invest.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to have to invest. I mean, whatever you do, starting your business.
As a creator, that's what it takes, though. That's what it takes. I mean, even if you don't go to actual school, you invest time in learning how to perfect this craft. I went to YouTube University and Google Community College in order to do what I have to do here. I didn't go to a major university. I learned this on my own. I invested time. I invested money for equipment. And buying a laptop and trying to figure out how this stuff works. Right. So it takes a lot of investment as a creator, especially if you don't want to go the normal route.
Right.
Of going to school.
Right.
So I'm sorry. Back to the music stuff. I'm sorry. No. So where do you play?
So I play at Walk the Word Church, Pastor Tim Petaway, and I play at Canaan Manifest the Word. Somebody's brother in here, Bishop Randall Parker.
I'm sorry, we don't.
Calvin.
We call it Decane in here.
Oh, that's right.
Decane. Right. Like Tabernacle Church, it's the tab.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what's up. So, how's that been for you though? Like, do you have individuals in the church that like maybe younger gentlemen that come up to you and want to learn or anything?
And so that's one of the frustrating things with the modern churchscape right now is that it is not a lot of young men or women trying to play. And I think it's partly this, like we can go on. This is a whole nother, whole nother episode. But kids are not young kids aren't in church. And then when they are in church, they're on their iPads, their phones, they're looking down, or they have now the modern day kids church, where when we grew up, there was no kids church. And so the most entertaining thing for us to do was the instruments. We're really, at the time, really the drums was the most entertaining.
The drums.
Every kid messed with the drums.
Right.
For me, my timing was terrible as a kid. And so I was like, I need something different. And so I didn't last on drums, but yeah.
So I know you played at like Gospel on the Green. You played at what was
The Faith in the Stadium.
Faith in the Stadium. Name some other big events that you played at.
Oh wow. Pretty much anything major that comes into town, I kind of play for. It's been a journey. It wasn't always this way. There was a time where I was pretty terrible, and just through. It's like anything, you start off, and then it's either you have to put in the work to get to where you want to get to, and then at the point, we all know there's a point when you become good, and then you work to become the stand. You work to get to a certain standard. But yeah, pretty much, I don't know. It's been so much stuff. Pretty much anytime there's an artist that comes into town, between me and my brother David, we're kind of the ones that are doing it. And so,
David's phenomenal.
David
too.
Williams,
Yeah.
I got a question. As a creative, using your eye or vision for photography and videography, using your ear for music, using your hands for music, do you feel fulfilled as a musician, as a photographer, as a creative, to be able to use all your senses at any given point?
Oh yes, absolutely. And everything works together. Like I tell people, I never disclosed this for the public before, but part of my X factor with my videos is the fact that I am a musician, and so I can, when I'm putting together my music, for like a lot of people don't even realize that there's keys, and so I'll put together 3 or 4 different tracks, but I'll make sure, okay, if I'm gonna use this track, I'm gonna make sure it's in a relative key. So sonically, there's a lot going on inside my films, inside my even my wedding films or whatever. There's a lot going on there that I'm approaching things from a different way because of my understanding as a musician.
Psychological part of it.
Yep. So I'm hitting people differently. So whether visually it's like, okay, you understand, like, okay, it's cool transitions, but my thing is on the back end with the audio, I'm gonna approach things a little bit different. And so that's kind of like, yes, I do get to use every part of,
certain keys or chords strike at your emotional different. So when you flick that picture and you hit that chord, and they like, and they don't even know why that picture.
Every musician can't score movies or score TV shows. You have to be a certain musician that understands the psychological part of moods and of chords and of different keys. Like my brother taught me this. Like and he's in California. He said, they do stuff on purpose. Like music is purposely done in movies and in TV shows. It's not by accident.
Everything in that you see in a film is for a reason. Everything, lighting, all of that is for a purpose, to set a tone or to pull at you a certain way.
Even down to like sound effects and stuff. People don't understand, like, there's little things that are going on, like in the back, like a riser. So like a suspense moment where something's about to happen, you hear that,
and you don't even know that you hear it. Right.
And it's like that hit sound, like it's all sorts of little things that are going on. So,
I found out in marketing, it's like that, like restaurants, lighting and all of that stuff is very purposeful. And even in your everyday life, that you don't even think about it because you've seen it so much, or it's just is oblivious to you. But the temperature in a restaurant, the
look
lighting,
at the difference
and all of
between going to J. Alexander and going to McDonald's. Right. There's a certain mood set. Where we go to Rosie's, it's a certain mood set. The curtains
from the moment you walk in the door.
So you can feel like, oh, this is a different establishment. This is a different mood. Like they have it set for us. If you go to McDonald's, just go and skip your way to the register and order your food. So
everything from the volume of music, all of that kind of stuff plays into it. Like,
well, I'm glad you boys know about the music and the tones and all that. One thing I know how to do, I know how to get a business to these bad kids. I just got to put my little look. I'm just gonna put my little plug in there because y'all. That's not what y'all talking about. Is not my lane. So I just wanted to put a little plug in there. But go ahead, man. Great conversation. Go ahead.
No, definitely. So you got people shouting you out on here.
Yeah. You got people shouting you out.
Shout out to my wife Shalise and baby Journey.
Beautiful baby.
Man, beautiful.
Liddell, love her. Who else?
I see Michael Johnson is on here.
Mike Johnson, that's my brother. That's barber in the city.
I saw Lou on here.
Podcaster.
Yeah, I saw Lou earlier.
Lou was on. I don't know if he's still on. Big Lou.
Big Lou's my cousin.
Yeah,
Ariel Johnson.
Ari.
Yeah,
Ariel.
Johnson. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Man.
what I'm talking about.
Love y'all.
Man, that look, and we got 16. We had 18 people viewing, and that's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get our views up. Share. And again, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you guys are tapped into the Rise and Grind Morning Show, man, and this is a blessing to have in our community. Is there any other morning shows with that is black owned? Do you know?
Not in Toledo.
That's what I'm talking. I just wanted you to confirm that. That's all. I already knew the answer.
But you know what though? When you say that, somebody gonna be like, "Yeah, I do got one. It's the wake up and get up Toledo." It's like, okay,
yeah. It's called get up on the good foot morning show.
It's called. No, I was about to make it. I'm not gonna do it. It's called Hungry Black Toledo.
No more.
Too soon.
All right.
Too soon.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
His name should not be mentioned.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God,
so
Cuzzo, man.
Let me change it. So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you for your services?
Oh man, you can go to my website, josiahwilliamson.com. I have a new agency website launching right now. We're building out the website, and so that should be launching. I have not settled on a domain for that yet, but everything will be linked. I'll have everything kind of linked up, but my website right now is josiahwilliamson.com.
Okay.
And then my Instagram handles are the Josiah Williamson, and then on Facebook it's JW Media Co.
Okay. So my thing is this: if you what would you like to see your end result to be for what you're growing, especially having a legacy for your daughter?
Absolutely. I want the end result, as far as where I see the vision for my company, my life, my family, is to have a agency that is able to help businesses grow, that's black owned, that is just able to garner just results at a just insane level. That's kind of the main thing. I want some, because there's so many people that, you know, they say they help people and they're frauds. They just take money they'll take people's $300,000-$500,000 and they don't really know what they're doing. And so I really want to be like the go-to agency in the city that helps small businesses grow.
Wow. So let me say this. So I believe in creating economic development, creating jobs and opportunity. I can see you, and I'm speaking this into existence for you, I can see you having an amazing sales team that know how to go out and pitch, that know how to get around gatekeepers to help businesses grow so it impacts their bottom line, you know, where they're able to save money because they're investing in advertising dollars. Absolutely. To be able to grow their business. And that's kind of where I come from in corporate America. I was in sales, and that's one of the things that I did was to help businesses grow through wireless communication. And so that's what I see for you.
Yes,
you
sir.
know?
Thank you.
So so you're going to do amazing things. I'll tell you that right now. God definitely has his hand on you, and you're going to continue to grow and be a beacon of light to other young black men that needs to understand that they can do all things through Christ who strengthens them. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
And shout out to the Williamson family, man.
Yeah.
A lot of them. I think Archie's your uncle. Is that your uncle?
Yep.
Archie.
Yep.
Yeah. He's in Columbus, and
Yep.
I don't even know if I've ever really met him. But when I used to do the set, he was a DJ at one point.
Yeah, sure was.
And so he works for like an investment. Is it an investment company?
Yeah, he had like a tech company down in Columbus, and I think he just sold it. But he's doing like consulting and stuff now.
So
yeah.
he liked what I was doing with the set, and he reached out to me like, man, I want to sponsor next month's set. So he used to be one of my sponsors
Okay.
for the set. Man.
Okay.
So just, the whole family, man, how, they invest and get behind, you know what I mean? I love it. So shout out to the Williamson family, man.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man. Uh-oh.
Check in, yeah, he talk about what's real. Check in, talk about. Check in, yeah, we talk about what's real. Time to check in. Every story else is here. Mr. Sean and Miss Tanya bring the truth we need. Every Wednesday night they gon' set the city free. Yeah, check in. Come on and vibe, let the healing begin. Check in.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Check In. That is the Check In podcast. The song that you heard is and was produced by Jesse Coleman himself. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested, especially with DJ Impress, man, get with either one of them, man. If you want somebody to tailor you a song at a decent price right now at a decent price, I'll let them put it on. I'll let them tell you the price when you reach out to them. But if you want a theme song, a wedding, something you want, allow them to consult with you and give you the best ideal and what you need. So just checking in, ladies and gentlemen. This month, check-in is going to be done out of Project 360. So check-in, we need some content. We got to put a face to check-in. And so we're going to be doing it out of the studio here. Thank you, Jesse Coleman, for the opportunity. Appreciate it. Project 360. Shout out to you, Al. So we are excited about that, ladies and gentlemen. But again, we want to send a shout out to our sponsors, Legal Shield by Anita Madison, Cartier One Auto Sales LLC, Nickel Bar and Grill, One Creative Cutie, Donetta Carter, The Social Butterfly, Midwest Social Life, Young Men and Women for Change, Pink Lady Cigar Club, The Tabernacle Church, The Tab, Toledo Art, and Project 360. But before we go, ladies and gentlemen, we always like to leave you with something to encourage you, to elevate you. I will start off saying that positive energy always create elevation, because I do what I need to do in order to do what I want to do. Why? Because your future is in front of you and not behind you. You are the head. You are not the tail. You are above and not beneath. Monty, what do you want to say before we go?
I want to say this is the first weekday of Black History Month, and I want to encourage people to dig deeper in the books and not just the normal, research, not just the normal people like Frederick Douglass, and get into some of the deeper hidden Black people, and look for local Black legends too.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Josiah, what would you like to leave with the people?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to all you guys. Thank you for having me as the first guest. I'm honored, and I would love to come back sometime, whenever. Just if you guys ever need anything, let me know. Thank you. I would say for the people, trust God. If you don't have a relationship with God, get in your Bible, pray daily, and whatever it is, whatever vision you have for your life, God will make that clear to you, and invest in yourself, believe in yourself, and if you have a vision, just believe. That's what
Absolutely.
Believe and invest.
Believe and invest. Jesse, what do you want to say to the people?
I just want to say thank y'all for watching. Have a good day.
That's Jesse's brand. That's the brand.
That's the brand.
That's the brand.
That's the brand. Ladies and gentlemen, go be great today. Be the head and not the tail. Be above and not beneath. Go make it do what it do. Peace out.
We out.
I'm in a church outside.